Well, good morning, boys and girls, moms and dads, everybody in viewerland. Thank you for tuning in today. And I appreciate each and every one of you and the comments that people leave. The constructive comments are always nice, and it's always fun to interact with other people. I'm just a guy that has my generators and tries to learn about them, and I run them every week just for fun. Not everybody has to do that. You know, if you run them once a month, that's fine. But just make sure you store them properly if you don't run them. But as you can see, I have my flammable cabinet open, and on the very top, I have some oil filters for my Generac, an air filter, and some spark plugs. And I even wrote the gap. It's 0.040. So make sure you know the gap on your spark plugs and kind of write it down on a note and put it with the plugs. That way when you have to gap them, you can. So I have that because you're the cavalry. Nobody's coming for you to help you out during a big storm. I have plenty of oil, as you can see, so I can change my Generac a bunch of times. And you want to change it every 50 hours or year. So change it once a year or every 50 hours. I have all my other additives and things to help me out for working on equipment. But you notice I have my gasoline at the bottom in the flammable cabinet. So I have the gasoline that's stored down there, and that's my secondary. I use my LP as primary when I have a power failure. If my Generac didn't start for the Champion dual fuel, I'll use the LP first because it's easy. You just shut the bottle off, and then the machine stops, and there's no gasoline to drain, no mess, no cleanup, and you can store it for forever if the tank's empty. So I run the LP for emergency. I keep those in a shed, but then I have my gasoline as a backup if the power outage went a long time. I could always drive and go get some gasoline and LP to another town or another area if I had to, but you want to have it on hand just in case. The gasoline, I rotate in my vehicles. So when my vehicles, when those things need some fuel, I go ahead and I use that in the vehicles. So I rotate out the gas, and then when you go to get gasoline, just make sure that you take your empty 5-gallon can with you, and then you take your gas pump at the gas station. Remember, we're going to use non-ethanol fuel. So up here, it's only the premium is the non-ethanol. So I get that, and then I take the hose and I put it in the fuel tank of the vehicle first to purge out any of that non-ethanol stuff. Because when you mix it with the whole vehicle, it doesn't matter. But that way, when you fill your 5, you're getting the non-ethanol into your can without mixing it with, a half a gallon of ethanol fuel. And we don't want the ethanol, do we? So out here we have the Champion dual fuel waiting to get started. Make sure you wear your safety glasses when you pour gasoline into something in case it splashes in your eye. I don't know, everybody's probably had some gasoline or chemical splash in their eye, and it's not fun. So go ahead and make sure you have your safety goggles or glasses on. You notice all the doors are closed. It's important in this weather. As it warms up, people have their windows open. You don't want a generator on the side of the house with doors open or windows open in an emergency situation. So close those, make sure that that's good. You have working smoke detectors. You have a battery backup CO monitor in your house. Keep those windows closed. And it's nice and quiet out here. We're going to go ahead and make some thunder and let everybody hear our generator. So we're going to go ahead and start it. Turn on my battery, full choke. And she's running. So you let it run for a minute, and then we put the load on it. You don't want to let a generator run a long time without a load on it. So, and you can alternate them. So go ahead and start and stop your vacuum or whatever load you have plugged into it so that it'll work. Watch our other videos, and as you can see, we have those numbers on the generator here. 93, 75, 7500, 84, 100, and 6750. Remember, gasoline, it burns the most efficient, so that will give you the most output for your machine. The next is LP. That's your second number. And if this was a tri-fuel, they do make those. Natural gas gives you the lowest amount. So make sure that you know what those numbers are. Tune into one of our other videos. We show you the sheet, how to figure out the draw, what you're going to run with your machine, how not to overload it, and all that good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and start the vacuum. All right, we're just going to let that run. I have it on the board. I'm going to totally run it dry. That way, I know it's good to store if I had to. But remember, always let it cool before you refill them. And on the back side, you have this bolt to take out once it's cool, and you can drain your carburetor that way. And then while the bolt's out, once it's all drained, just shoot a little WD in there, WD-40, right in that little bolt area, and just give it a couple blasts, and it stops anything from forming in there. So that's that. But now we're walking to the Generac. Now I had my dealer come out, and he did the little pad, and he figured out everything we were going to run. So that was good. So he figured out 24 kW because I was building a garage. We got the green light on, that's good. But the garage wasn't here then. So I built the garage, and I had him figure out the draw of the garage. I changed all my light bulbs to LED. So like a 75 watt LED, I think it's about 8 watts is the actual draw on it. So you could save yourself a ton of money on your electric bill by converting to those. They're expensive. On the exterior of the garage, I have 100 watt bulbs. And 2 of those was like $19. But they last a lot longer than regular light bulbs. And you save money by less draw. So I don't know, I'll see how that works out. But I bought them for the less draw. And if you go over our video where we do the figuring out of everything, the draws, you can see that the lights in the house have a lot less draw. I can run a lot more lights even with the portable. The 24 kW, my friend didn't want to, oh, here it goes, it's starting up. So we'll see if it stays nice and green, and it is. And you'll notice the windows are closed. I can't stress that enough. You want, because the exhaust is blowing towards the window side. So you want to make sure that you have your windows closed so you don't have CO, okay? But always have a battery backup smoke alarms and battery backup CO detector in your house too. But you always want to have that safe so everybody's safe. This is supposed to make you safe and keep you good, not hurt you. So always think about what you're doing, be safe, and try and learn as much as you can, like I have, and I'm always still trying to learn too. But have extra supplies on hand to change oil if you have a power failure, a long-term power failure. You're supposed to shut your Generac down at 24 hours after runtime. Let it cool for a half hour, check your oil, and then restart it. So you can go a half hour without power to properly take care of your machine. You have to do that for the warranty, so make sure that you do that. The next 24 hours would be 48. You're close enough to do an oil change, so you could let it cool a little bit. You know, it's going to be hot in there, but you want to drain your oil while it's warm. So drain your oil, and then add the 1.8 quarts is what this one takes. And then while you're doing that, check the air filter, make sure that's clear and there's no issues in there. So that's it. So I just run my equipment every week just because it's fun for me. I enjoy it, and I enjoy sharing it with everybody. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Be safe out there, everybody. Ciao.